Hi guys, welcome to Coding Filler. If you are just seeing this page for the first time, please click the like, follow or subscribe button. This is the part 3 of our API development series. So in part 1, we look at the project setup and integrating with Identity Server. We went ahead to configure the default ASP.NET table to our preferred name, and in part 2, we develop login endpoint. In this login endpoint, we also look at authenticating and validating the user to be able to be sure that this is the right person providing the credential. And if you have not watched part 1 and 2, I will encourage you to watch them so that I'll be able to catch up with us in this part 3. In this part 3, we'll be looking at implementing JWT token to secure and to protect our application. Without wasting much of our time, let's get started. So to implement our JWT token, so the first thing we'll do is to check, as we have done that in our part 2, right? So is to check and validate the user credential. Having done that, we are going to call our JWT service somewhere around here before we return the response, right? So let's stop the application from running. Right, so the first thing to do here is to install the required library. Go to your Solution Explorer, right click on the project, click on Manage NuGet Package. Then search for JWT. So having done that, select microsoft.aspnetcode.authentication.jwt bearer. So this is the one you should install. Then click on Install. Select Apply and Accept. Installation is ongoing. Alright, this installation is complete. Go to your services, right click on the service folder, select Add to add a new class. Add, select class, then give it a name. In my own case, I'll give it JWT Token Manager Service. Alright, select Add. Having done that, let's create an interface for it. Go to your interfaces folder, select Add and select class. Select interface, then Hi JWT Token Manager Service. Click on Add, right? Let your main class inherit your interface. Alright, so change this to internal seal class so that any service will not be able to inherit it, right? Having done that, let's create this constructor CTOR double char, right? Having done that, let's create a method to generate the token. It's going to be public async task. The return type is going to be a string, right? Then call the name of the method, generate JWT token, generate JWT token, right? Then we are to pass payload. We're going to pass that, create a record for it now. All right, so let's introduce our try catch. Or better still, let's just return. It's going to be the string response, beg your pardon, string response equals to string dot empty. All right, then return response. All right. So let's go to our model. Let's create a class for the DTO. All right. Go to your Solution Explorer. Go to the DTO. Right click on the details folder. Select Add. All right. Give it a name. Generate JWT Token DTO. All right. Take this out. Then change this to record. All right. So what do we need for now? Let's do string email. String first name. String last name. And probably we might want to also return the users row, right? This is going to be list because user might have more than one row. List conception from a string and rows equals to null because it's not going to be a compulsory field. All right, having done that, let's pass this payload to, let's pass the record to this method payload. All right, having done that, let's instantiate our JWT security token handler. Token handler equals to JWT security token handler. Right. Beg your pardon, new JWT token handler. Then, so let's declare the secret as well. Secret key equals to, then it's going to be encoding dot then dot get byte. Right, pass your key to it. All right, so and then the credentials, right, going to be for sign in credential signing credentials equals to new assigning credentials, bracket new, you pass new symmetric, security key, then you pass your secret key to it. Command security algorithm. Right, security algorithm is going to be mark.sha2 mark. Oh, okay. Mark sha signature. All right. So let's bind our key, secret key, and security token. So let's configure it on our AppSettings.json. Go to your AppSettings.json, declare a section. Let's call that section AppSettings. AppSettings, right? Inside this section, declare another section. Let's call it JWT. All right. Don't forget this. Right. Inside this JWT, let's have our secret key here. Create key. Secret key. Then we are going to have our issuer, right? And we are going to have our audience. All right. And we're going to have time the token will expire. Let's make it configurable. It's going to be expired in token expires in, let's give it, it's going to be a minute. All right. So let's save 24 hours, depends on what you are building. The secret keys could be any long string, right? All right, the secret key, I'm just going to paste this. Right, changing this to token validity in minute or expiring, it depends on what you wish. Okay, let me change it to token validity. All right, so it's going to be in 24 minutes. So depends on whatever you are building. Some people set it to 15 minutes. Right, the audience and the issuer, let's copy the base URL from here. Let's copy this. All right, going to paste it the same issuer with the audience. So having done that, let's create a class for this AppSettings. Go to your Solution Explorer. All right, so let's create a folder. Let's name it Utilities. Hard folder. Utilities. All right. So inside this utilities folder, I'm going to create another class, call it AppSettings. All right. Inside this AppSettings, let's create a class for the JWT public class JWT. So inside our JWT section, so don't forget that this section must match whatever we declare here, right? So this is going to be, we have the secret key. Just copy it, then prop. It's going to be a string type. To be string secret key. All right, let me just duplicate this. All right, go back to your app settings, your JSON, copy the issuer, paste it, go back, copy the audience, paste it, duplicate it again, copy the token validity in minute, then you paste it because token validity in minutes. So change this to, it's going to be an integer, change it to int. Right, having done that, the next thing is to bind this AppSettings class. Right, so before we bind it, let's bring in this. It's going to be prop. All right, it's going to be this, then the JWT itself. All right, so let's go to our program files.cs, which is this. Before, let me copy this class first, copy it, go to program files.cs. All right, before you build the application, right, somewhere around here, this is the connection configuration. Okay, let's declare it here. It's going to be app settings section, right, equals to builder dot configuration dot get section, and the section you want to get, you pass it there. The key of the section is app settings. All right, so then now do builder dot services dot configure so we angle bracket, so pass the app settings class to it, and then you pass this section settings to it. All right, we are done binding our app settings to our app setting class to our app settings.json. Right, this app setting class is now available for use. Right, let's go to our generate. Let's go to our JWT token manager service. Right, this is the interface, this is the service. Right, let's inject it into our constructor. Private read only the app settings class, then AppSettings. All right. Change into your constructor. Let's bring it the reference. All right. So having done that, so pass this guy app settings into the I options. I options. All right. So this would now be dot value. All right. The value is now available for use. So from this app settings, we are going to pass our secret key here. App settings .jwt secret key. So don't forget, this our secret key is being loaded from AppSettings.json, and we map it to AppSettings class, and we bind it from our program file from here, right? And then we pass it to I options. So I options pattern, so that the value will be available for us. All right, having done that, so let's continue with the remaining code. So let's declare the claims. It's going to be for claims equals to, because it's going to be a list of claims equals to new list, beg your pardon, is to pass your claims class to pass the claim. All right, so let's import it from this guy. All right, it's not available, right? So let's add our payload to the claims dot add goes to new claim. All right, so the claim is going to be so let's pass the subject into the payload, right? It's going to be JWT registered names dot subject, and this subject is used to identify each token or per user, right? So I'm going to use the payload dot email as the identity of the user. So you see, subject is just like adding extra security to identify each token per user, right? The same thing with just duplicate it, the same thing with JWT ID. So JTI. Then this JTI, I'm going to be generating a new guild to make it unique per user. It's going to be guild dot new guild. All right. Okay, dot the string. All right, so having done that, so let's add the remaining payload to the claims.add. So it's going to be, the type is going to be, let me add a email. It's going to be payload.email. So duplicate is going to be first name. First name is going to be payload.first name. All right, so then let me pass the last name. Then it's going to be last name. Okay, we have email, first name, last name, and you might add any other data that you think you want to return to the user or to the client, right? So the next thing now is to let's add our rows. But before adding our rows, so since our row is not a compulsory data, so what we are going to do is going to check if payload dot rows, right, is not null. If row is not null, then add it. Right, it's going to be for each row var in payload dot rows. All right, so it's going to be claims dot add, beg your pardon, claims dot add. All right, it's going to be new claim. All right, then it's going to be claims. You pass the claims row dot row command row. Claims types is going to be claims type, not just claims dot row. Claim types. All right, having done that, so let's declare our token descriptor. The token descriptor equals to new JWT security token. All right, inside this security token, we are going to be passing the issuer. It's going to be the header as the issuer. It's going to be our app settings. Don't forget we have our issuer declared in our app settings.json, right? App settings.jwt, then dot issuer. All right. Command app settings dot JWT dot pass the audience. All right, so it's going to be now claims, comma claims dot so array. Right, comma the expire time. When the token will expire, then it's going to be date, time dot UTC now, right, dot hard minutes. So if yours is going to be per days or hours or whatever, but in my own case I want to use minutes. right? So every 24 minutes or 15 minutes, based on what we set, it's going to be per minute, it's going to be AppSettings dot JWT dot token validity in minutes. All right. Having done that, remaining to pass sign-in credentials. Right. Going to be sign-in credentials. Right. Equals to our sign-in credentials that we declare here. Assigning the credentials here. All right. So to generate the token now, we're going to call response equals to token descriptor dot write token. Token, beg your pardon, we're going to pass the descriptor into the token handler. It's going to be token handler, which is this that was declared here, right? Just copy it, paste it, and then you pass the token descriptor to it. All right. So you're pretty almost done with it. Token handler dot write token. All right. So can I take out this? Let's just, or for debugging purpose. So let's just leave it. Then we cannot change it this to, you see, this is string, not string response. Change it to token. Token equals to this, and down. Replace this guy with the token equals to this. All right. So let's copy this method. Let's take it to our interface. All right. Having done that, so let's go and register the service. With your Solution Explorer, remember we have a class called Service Collection. Go to the Service Collection. Let me collapse this. So it's going to be services dot hard scope services dot hard scope, right, comma this hide JWT token manager, and then the service itself. All right. Having done that, so what is left is to declare our token. So to declare the token, right? So let me create a region for it. It's called a region JWT, then beg your pardon, region. Right. JWT. I like grouping my service or method for easy reading and to make it easy to find. All right, so let's start with first secret. Secret. It's gonna be, a secret key. Right, the secret key is coming from, let's grab it from configuration settings. Configurations, get section. Section, the key of the section is going to be, all right, it's going to be a string value app settings. Then the section is JWT. All right, that's get value. Get value. The value is going to be, don't forget, it's a string data type. All right. So you pass the name of the value you want to get to the secret key. Secret key. Right, I'll just duplicate this. This is going to be the issuer JWT, and then this is going to be issuer. Then the next one is the audience. This is going to be audience, just as we have them here. Audience, issuer, and then the same way we have them in our AppSettings.json, secret key, issuer, audience, and token validity. But at that point, we're not going to use token validity. Right, it's the collection. Right, so the next thing is to configure the authentication for Declar token. Right, so it's going to be services dot hard authentication. All right, hard authentication, going to be options. Right, side is we're going to have this options dot default authentication scheme, declaring the authentication scheme equals to JWT bearer JWT bearer default. Yeah, this is it. Bearer default dot authentication scheme. All right, so just copy this and change this default authentication scheme to authenticate scheme to default challenge scheme. Default challenge scheme. All right, so having done that, so let's continue with the configuration. Then it's going to be dot hard JW bearer JWT bearer. Inside this, we're going to have another options. So inside this, we're going to have options dot require HTTP metadata can set this to false, goes to false. It should always be false by default, right? Sometimes you might not need to even pass it, right? Options dot save token, set this to true. Then options dot token validation, token validation parameters equals to new token validation parameter. All right, inside this you're going to be passing validator, validate issuer, right, to set it to true. All right, then we also have validate audience, set this to true as well, goes to true. Then validates issuer signature key. Validate issuer signer key, rather issuer signer key, set this to true as well. Right, then validate issuer, valid issuer, beg your pardon, valid issuer is different from validate issuer, right? I thought I was setting validate issuer. This is going to be valid issuer, is going to be our issuer here. Let's copy it and put it here, right? And then the audience is going to be the audience. Now let's not declare validate issuer. Yeah, set this to true. Then validate audience, this should be true as well. So issuer signing key. All right, the next thing is issuer signing key equals to new symmetric key. Then we pass our key. Now our key is a byte of encoding. It's going to be encoding dot UTF-8 dot get byte. All right, so it's going to be our secret key. Copy, pass it here. All right, what's next? Okay, so I also have passed the clock skill equals to time zone. Dot zone times fine dot 0. All right. Having done that, what next? We will still continue with the configuration. All right, let's add the event. Let's add event. It's going to be options. Dot event equals to new JWT bearer event. So guys, for the event configuration, I had to pause the video because I don't want it to be too long, right? For the event configuration, under event configuration, then configure the JBRR event, right? On authentication field, right? Return this, right? Once token is expired, it's going to set it to true and then return the task, right? If there is any challenge, right, it's going to, you are not authorized. That is what we are sending back to the client, right? And also, if it's also forbidden, right, you are not authorized to access this resource, right? That's the message was returning back to the user. And then on message received, set the context to the authorization there. Should in case if any of these failed, right, it goes to fall back to this guy, right? Extract the authorization, then get the token, and then start with bearer token, and then pass it to this guy. So should in case any of the above fail, then it's going to make use of these to extract the bearer token. So having done that, let's go and test our application. But before testing our application, so let's just create our login. Before testing our application, let's call this service JWT Token Manager Service. Oh, I beg your pardon. This manager service is not correct. So let's quickly correct it. Let's rename it. There's a typography error there. That was services. JWT Token Manager Service. Right click on it. Click on rename. Remove this the W manager service. Right, press enter. Yes, applies to all. Let's go to the interface and do the same thing. Right click, rename, remove the W, press enter. Yes, applies to all. So let's inject this into our account service. This constructor is going to be private read only. Because to this beg pardon. Alright. Then alright, so copy this. Now what we're doing here is at the point of signing in, after validating all the credentials. Alright, so before we return the response, going to be, let's call the token manager service dot generate token. New, that's the payload. Let's pass the payload JWT token DTO. Then the email is going to be user we must have been fetching user from, okay, is user assist. Let's grab the data here. Is user assist dot email. All right, then user assist dot email, comma the first name, user assist dot first name, Then social assist dot last name. Row is optional, so we pass through. We are not going to pass through for now. So why the error? This okay. Close bracket. All right. Going to take a wait. But token equals to this, and you return the token here. It's going to be service response dot data equals to, let's declare anonymous data here. It's going to be token equals to token. All right. So let's test this on the app. Right, so there is an error here. Fail to load configuration from this web AppSettings.json. Invalid follow after expected either this. Okay, there's an error here. Right, this from this curly bracket. Right, stop the app from running. Go to AppSettings.json. Of course, there is an error here. We're supposed to put comma here, so no issue found. So let's run the app again. All right, the app is up and running, but before we test it, let's put some breakpoint. Going to put a breakpoint on the login. Right, so that login, let me go to the implementation of generate JWT token. Go to the implementation. Let's put another breakpoint here to test our service. So having done that, I'm going to use Postman to test it, right? So I'm going to send it now. All right, the request is here. Step over. Right, checking if the invalid email or password, it means that user is not found. Okay. Right, so we couldn't find the user. Let me check out this. I guess this awesome for life. That's the email at gmail.com. Let's try it again. Check if the user exists. All right, user is found now. Then check the password. Does it match? Failed. All right. Oh, okay. It's checking if it has been locked out. Right. So login is not successful. All right, I guess I've forgotten the password. Let me create another user. Let me quickly create another account. Oh, okay. Let me try it with this. This should be in the database. Beg your pardon. Test it again. All right. This is also found. Let's check the password. Login failed again. Okay, the password does not match. Let's copy this password. Protect. Right. Alright, the password match now. Right, check, and then step into the JWT method. Step this. Right, so let's generate the token. Right, token successfully generated. Continue. Right, and now returning the token. Alright, so guys, this is how to implement JWT token, or how to generate JWT token in your application. So what I'm going to do now is to return this directly, because there is no need to have extra declare variable here. That is not necessary. So I only used declare it to be able to use it to debug the application for debugging purpose. Right, I'm going to take this out, and then we just return this here. Take this out and then take out the variable as well. So we're good to go. So with this, you can always reuse this generated JWT token. So this is the method I prefer to use. Try to, and then if you want to follow design principles, let your service be doing just one thing, or method just be doing just one thing, right? So, and this is just the service, and if there is any problem, just fix it here, then you are good. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how we are going to protect our endpoint with this, with authorization, and then how we can extract all this value, or how we can access all the claims that we pass to our payload, and then make use of them or reuse them. So guys, thank you for watching. Please follow for more. See you in my next tutorial. Bye. And if you have any opinion or contrary to this implementation, please let me know in the comment section. I love you guys. Bye.